Hello everyone, and welcome to Sunup. I'm Lyndall Stout. With the warmer temperatures, pastures are starting to green up. Joining us now is Dr. Alex Rocateli, our Extension forage specialist. Alex, it's kind of a pivotal time for Bermudagrass. Give us some advice.
Yes, now is the time the Bermudagrass start to green up. Soil temperatures are reaching around 65 during the day and 60 during the night, so the Bermudagrass start to wake up. And that's a time that we need to be thinking very strategically on how to proceed with our pastures.
Okay, so what are some of the initial steps that producers need to do? They kind of need to identify the Bermudagrass. That's step one, right?
Right. At this time, in the past, before Bermudagrass green up, the producers could just apply a non-selective herbicide and kill all the weeds that were coming up. But now becomes a very critical time, because if the Bermudagrass in some places are red, greening up, and in some places on the verge to green up, the producers must be scouting and making sure that the Bermudagrass didn't green up yet, so they can still apply some glyphosate to control. As you can see here, it's pretty green, but if you go down and see, there is no much Bermudagrass in this specific pasture. Now, if you cross and you look at there's much more. So what I'm saying is it's very important to identify the Bermudagrass.
So what do people need to look for specifically?
Well, when we're looking for Bermudagrass, if you want to really know if we have a red Bermudagrass greening up on your pasture, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you identify where the dead growth from last season was, and you start to look around, and you can see that from the below ground of the plant, you can see that the new plants start to come, as you can see here, right? And as you can see, Bermudagrass, it's kind of connected by stolons and rhizomes. The rhizomes are structures that's very difficult to see here, but are structures underground. As you can see, like, we don't have just one specific stem coming out. You can see that they are together.
Right.
And so that's why this plant, I say, has stolons here. That's another way to identify. And one thing is, the Bermudagrass has pretty much, like, the stem of the Bermudagrass is pretty much flattened. So it's not rounded. You can feel when you place your fingers that it's not rounded, it's a flat stem. And if that's not enough, you can just look and see that when you look at the leaf here, in this part of the leaf there is no hairs at all. And when you go to the leaf blade, also we don't have hairs. But when you look where the leaf sheet and the leaf blade meets, can you see we have long puff of hairs at the corners here. So that's how you can identify Bermudagrass.
So bottom line, it's at a critical stage of development, and the herbicides could affect that if you apply them now, if it's already sprouted.
Exactly. What happened is the Bermudagrass on these kind of underground structures in the internodes, I mean, that's where the Bermudagrass last year accumulate all the reserves so it can survive during the winter. So during the winter, the Bermudagrass was just spending all that energy. And what happened now is the plant is pretty much, I would say, starving. And the energy that is still there, the plant is saying, well, let me invest with the soil temperature going up on new leaves so I can make more energy. So imagine if you apply a non-selective herbicide or even a selective herbicide that has restriction for green up, what can happen is you would injure too much your green leaf that's going to do new photosynthesis and energy, and at the same time you don't have more energy here to grow new leaves. So that's where it can be very bad for your pasture, and if you keep doing that year after year, your pasture with time is going to thin out.
Sure. Now, once it's established and kind of the pasture has filled out, so to speak, then you can apply herbicide later?
Yes, green up is a stage that I would say when you see new growth coming up is when the green up, I would say, start. And I would say the green up ends when you can see that the Bermuda grass is quite even in your field and you have about 2 inches of growth.
Well, we're just touching on the subject today, but you have some fact sheets that our viewers can check out?
Yes, we have some fact sheets on Bermuda grass establishment for sprigging, for seed, and also some fact sheets on Bermuda grass management overall. And also, don't forget that we have our county educators. They are always a good resource to check if you have more specific questions.
Great. Well, great information, Alex, and we'll see you again soon. And for a link to those fact sheets, as well as a link to find your local county extension office, go to sunupokstatede.edu.